Okay, this is going to be a quick and easy guide on how to make Oliver salad or Oливье salad. And I'm going to show you a few forbidden techniques that you don't want to let your babushka find out about. Okay, we're starting off with the bologna here. You want to go ahead and cut the bologna nice and thick. And the key for most of these chopping methods is the vegetable chopper. Now, it's not just for vegetables. We're going to be chopping most of the stuff with this thing. The bologna is soft, but if you press it in with your fingers, you won't squish it. Press it into the blades with your fingers and then lower the chopper, and boom, you got nice little squares, perfect for Oливье. Now, the amounts of chopping vary based on how much you're going to be making. We're making about 4 quarts here with this Oливьye. And you're going to want to maybe like 2 pounds of bologna, actually more than you see here. I ended up chopping the rest of the bologna you see on screen here. Next, we'll start with the potatoes. Potatoes are also nice and soft. I went ahead and cut the potatoes into 4s and then boiled them until I could squeeze a fork through them nice and easy. You don't want to overboil them because they'll fall apart, and if you underboil them, they'll be a little too hard. But a good consistency where they don't fall apart is perfect. You want to put them in the fridge after you boil them. And then same deal as the bologna, you're going to go ahead and push them into the blades with your fingers and then lower the chopper all the way down. You'll get nice potato squares. Alright, throw the potatoes in with the bologna, and we're going to move on to the next ingredient, the pickles. Now, the pickles are very important. The pickles provide the salt and the crunchiness to the Oливьye. So you want nice whole pickles. The crunchier, the better. Now, you might find it that cutting a pickle is actually surprisingly hard unless you have a really, really sharp knife. But there is a technique that I will show you that will make it a lot easier. Now, as you can see here, I'm struggling cutting this pickle. The skin is pretty tough, but if you already cut the pickle in half and you just slice through the cut you already made, the knife goes straight through. So don't cut through the skin, cut through the already made cut down the middle. And now we're going to use the chopper. Now, using the chopper can also be tricky. Now that these are nice and crunchy, you want to go ahead and chop through nice and hard. But you might find that the skin might not go all the way through the blades once again, and you might have a pickle get stuck in the chopper, which can be frustrating. Now, the way we're going to mitigate that is to give the pickle a slight karate chop. You're going to put the pickle skin down toward the blade. All right? You're going to put it down, and then you're going to give it a little palm strike. Just a nice, gentle one. That will cut through the skin, and then the rest of the way you will slice down with the chopper as usual. You really got to think outside the box when using this vegetable chopper for certain ingredients. Alright, let's throw those in with the rest of the ingredients and move on to the onion. Now, slicing the onion isn't that bad. You won't even cry using this method. Go ahead and cut off the top and the bottom and then peel off the top layer of skin. That'll leave the onion nice and clean. And now we're going to cut the onion in half. Now make sure you cut it from top to bottom, and then you're going to cut the half further. Once again, 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch slices. And then we're going to go ahead and use our vegetable chopper to cut those rings. Now you want to go ahead and be nice and quick and forceful with the chopper for the onion. The onion's nice and stiff, nice and hard, so bring the chopper down in a nice swift motion, and that'll cut through the onion like you're slicing it with a samurai sword. The onion is a very important ingredient in an Oливьye because it gives it a nice zest and then a little further crunch with the pickle, and I think that gives it a nice texture. Go ahead and throw that in with the rest of the ingredients, and we're going to move on to the eggs. Now, the eggs are hard-boiled, which isn't that hard to do, but peeling them and slicing them can be tricky. After you boil your eggs, go ahead and put them into some water and let them cool off for a few hours in the refrigerator. If you do that correctly, it'll make peeling them a lot easier. To peel the egg, go ahead and crack it around the equator in a circular motion, and then peel that equator nice and easy, and then pull off the top and then pull off the bottom. Now, if you cooked and then chilled the eggs properly, it'll make this process a lot easier. If you didn't, the shell might not come off as easy and you might lose a little bit of the egg. But peel as much off as you can, and then we're going to get to the slicing. Now, this is where this attachment comes in handy, the long slice attachment. You're going to feed the egg through the long slice attachment by hand, and then you're going to use the rest of the chopper, once again, softly by hand, feed the egg through the chopper, and then bring it down, and boom, nicely sliced eggs. I'd say a dozen eggs for 4 quarts of Oливье is a good amount. Eggs are great, lots of protein, give it a good soft texture. I can't go wrong with too many eggs. Go ahead and throw those in to the rest of the ingredients. And we're gonna move on to the final ingredient, the peas. Simply open up a can of peas. 2 cans for 4 quarts is a good amount. Now my baby started crying here, and I thought it was kind of funny how the sound of the crying baby just cracked me up. But yeah, put the peas through a strainer, strain out as much liquid as you can, throw it in, and now we're gonna go ahead and mix. Now mixing is pretty easy. Go ahead and put the lid over the container, and you're gonna shake the whole container like a side-to-side circular motion for about 30 seconds. Shake, 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 and that will distribute the Oливье nice and evenly. And you have a good even distribution of Oливьye, and now you're ready to add the mayo. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of mayo for anything other than Oливьye. In my opinion, mayonnaise was made for this particular reason, and if you put it on anything else, then no thank you. But mayonnaise and Oливьye, it's the good stuff, trust me. Mix it in, mix it in, mix it in, and that's it, you're done. You got your meal prep ready for a week. By the end, it's got a nice little ready to enjoy.